Hi, this is Christian, and welcome to NFL Updates Express, your weekly dose of NFL news. Coming your way, Super Bowl 49 final score. With the Seahawks knocking at the doorstep of a back-to-back Super Bowl championships after Jermaine Kearse's amazing catch, which got him inside the red zone, and then Marshawn Lynch got it to the 1-yard line. A big decision that will go down in history as maybe the worst for the Seahawks and the best for the Patriots. Malcolm Butler steps in front of the pass thrown by Wilson intended for Ricardo Lockett for an interception at the goal line and preserves the Patriots' 28-24 victory over the Seahawks. It was a great Super Bowl featuring some studs that we have never even heard about, including Chris Matthews over 100 yards for the Seattle Seahawks coming out of nowhere. Just a few months ago, he was working at Foot Locker. On the Patriots, we had, of course, Tom Brady, the MVP, coming up in the clutch with Gronkowski, Brandon LaFell, Edelman, and Amendola pitching in. In the end, it was the Patriots surviving the Seahawks and getting a huge win for their 4th Super Bowl title in the last 15 years. Final score, Patriots 28, Seahawks 24. Tom Brady cemented his legacy as perhaps the greatest quarterback of all time with a 24-28 victory over the Seattle Seahawks. Tom Brady, he just had 328 yards and 4 touchdown passes against the Legion of Boom, the best defense in the NFL. That's all. But anyway, he threw a pair of interceptions, but it didn't matter as he rallied his team from down 10 in the 4th quarter to capture Super Bowl MVP. At the beginning of the year, you can check back on our original video predictions for the playoffs and the season overall, but Dylan predicted the season right for the 2nd consecutive year, predicting the Patriots to defeat the Seattle Seahawks in Super Bowl 49. I predicted the Indianapolis Colts to beat the Seattle Seahawks in the Super Bowl, but the Colts got eliminated in the championship game and the Seahawks lost to the Patriots, as you know, in the Super Bowl. Every fan wants their team to get to the Super Bowl, and starting now, every team will be dreaming of holding up the Lombardi Trophy, and every team has a chance because the season hasn't started yet, of course. And here's the teams that I see have the greatest chance of making it to Super Bowl 50 in San Francisco. For the NFC, I have the Seattle Seahawks, and you got to keep them on top until further notice at the number 1 spot in the NFC. Number 2, Green Bay. They were just a meltdown less away from advancing to Super Bowl 49. I also have the 49ers at number 3. I think if Kaepernick can get his game back together and the defense get their injured stars back, I think they'll be fine. 4, I see the Carolina Panthers. Now, don't laugh. Even though their 7-8-1 record is deceiving, I think they're a much better team than that and could compete for a Super Bowl championship. And number 5 is the Dallas Cowboys. Now, they're an interesting team, but I think that if they can get at least one of Dez Bryant or DeMarco Murray back, then I think they can compete for a Super Bowl championship as well. My honorable mention for the NFC is the Arizona Cardinals. As long as Palmer comes back, they'll be a legitimate threat to contend for Super Bowl 50. On the AFC side of things, I see the New England Patriots again. They need to be number 1. They just won the Super Bowl. Number 2, the Baltimore Ravens, easily the biggest challenger to the Patriots. Number 3, the Indianapolis Colts. Now, their only problem is that they can't find a way to beat the New England Patriots. But if they do that, they could wind up in Super Bowl 50. The 4th team is the Denver Broncos, and it all depends on what happens with the Peyton Manning situation along with Demaryius Thomas, so we'll have to see there. And San Diego comes in at number 5 for me. And I think with Phillip Rivers being clutch, I think he can get the job done and maybe pull off a few wins to get to Super Bowl 50. My honorable mention is the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I think if they get their defense straightened out, they'll be right in it. Surprise, surprise. Who are some teams in both the NFC and AFC that can compete for a playoff spot next year? Well, for the AFC, I have 2 teams. First is the Buffalo Bills. Now, the Bills were a game or so away from making it to the postseason, and if they had a legitimate quarterback, they could have gone into the playoffs and maybe won a playoff game. The other team is the Miami Dolphins, another AFC East team. Again, if a few things would have went their way, they would have found their way with a postseason spot. But I think both of those teams can compete next year for a playoff spot. And the NFC, we say this every year, the St. Louis Rams. Now, if Sam Bradford could just stay healthy, this team could be explosive. They're talented, but they just need to get their quarterback situation settled. If Bradford stays healthy, then the Rams could compete for a playoff spot. But I'm not just officially going to crown them yet as a playoff contender until they figure out the quarterback situation. Thank you for watching NFL Updates Express all season long. We'll see you in May for the draft.